welcome to this special report from Bengaluru. Now, if you're wondering where I am, what this attractive picnic spot is, complete with snow and fluff, this is Whitefield Lake, the second largest lake in Bengaluru city. Take a closer look at that snowy looking substance. It is filthy. It is scum, foamy, frothy scum floating on the surface of Whitefield Lake right here in Whitefield, which is one of the IT hubs of this Silicon City. So this is actually flowing in from Whitefield Lake, piling up, going on and on and on, and really causing a stink. Believe me, you're lucky not to be able to smell what's going on here. And to join us to discuss what is going on here and what needs to be done, we're very fortunate to have the Upalokayukta of Karnataka, Justice Santosh B. Adi, Professor T.V. Ramchandra of the Indian Institute of Science, who's been making a long study of this, and several residents of Whitefield, members also of Whitefield Rising, a citizens group which has been working a lot on trying to get this lake cleaned up. Just quickly first, is this unusual or is it often like this?
This happens very often. It's just that in the last few days it's been very persistent. It is this foam, what you see is much less than what we have seen in the last few days.
Okay.
It comes over to the road, and in fact somebody told me this morning that when he was driving past, some foam came and hit him in the helmet. He actually fell and injured himself. Yeah, this happened this morning. Yeah.
So this is not unusual. It's not the first time you've seen
No,
this.
not at all. Been living here for 4.5 years and it's only gotten worse. It used to be much better, but it's become far worse and it's really affected the groundwater. I live very close here and we depend on our bore wells for our water supply because we don't get the Kaveri water. And the bore well, we have to be really careful because there's a lot of E. coli even at a, at a very short, yeah.
So this, again, not unusual for you or for your children to see. This is a common sight for them.
This is a common sight. In fact, my daughter is wondering what the big fuss is. She says the lake is always frothing.
Okay. So, not an unusual sight, this rather dangerous looking snow in Bengaluru. Now, what is this? We'll go straight across to the scientist, Professor T.V. Ramchandra. You're working at the Indian Institute of Science and you have been studying the water of Whitefield Lake. Perhaps we can just take another look at it first, just to have an idea of what this lake actually looks like. What is this actually? How long have you been studying the water here?
We have been studying this lake since 1997. Okay. And what I say is it indicates the sewage contamination.
Okay.
The large quantity of sewage is entering this valley. It's about 500 MLD every million liters per day.
500 million liters of sewage water is entering this lake.
Sewage is entering this valley. And you see that in the sewage we have N and P. Nitrogen, nitrate and phosphates.
Yes.
See, N comes from our food, the protein what we eat.
Okay.
Phosphate comes from the detergent.
Yes.
Essentially, this is an indicator of the detergent pollutant that is coming here. And also, when I look at this detergent pollutant here, I also say that we have to be cautious about the phosphate because that is a limited resource in our ecosystem. We cannot afford to waste the phosphate like this because our children require the phosphate for various other things.
Other things as well. Now, we have heard people say that it's just detergent. It's not that harmful. Is this foam harmful or does it just look bad?
Well, the foam may not be harmful directly, but the contaminant that is there is getting into our groundwater sources. That is affecting the people. See, the heavy metal contamination and also the nitrate getting into the groundwater, we have a serious problem. When the higher level of nitrate in the groundwater will cause the cancer, while the heavy metal gives the kidney failure. And most of you see the instances of kidney failure in Bangalore. Earlier it was 1 in 1 lakh. Today it is 1 in 5,000 or 10,000. That indicates that there is a contamination in the system. We need to be careful. We need to act immediately. See, the solution to this is, first is we need to decontaminate the system. We need to treat the sewage. Only treated sewage has to come.
Absolutely.
And also, second thing is you should respect the sewage because it's a valuable resource. We have the N and P in that. We can make billions of rupees if we take away the N and P.
Right now it is 500 million liters of untreated sewage coming into Whitefield Lake every single day. Now what a frightening thought that is indeed. The condition of this water. So of course, who do you think about when you think of issues like that? You think of the Pollution Control Board. And we went to the chairman of the Pollution Control Board, Dr. Vamanacharya, to ask him about this foam, what was being done about it, what exactly was happening. Here is what he told us. A large lake in Bengaluru city in Whitefield causing the residents great concern covered as it is with a white froth or white scum. Now joining us is the chairperson of the Karnataka Pollution Control Board, Dr. Vaman Acharya. Dr. Acharya, what is that white froth, that white scum that we see on top of the lake?
Well, this white froth is nothing other than what you see in your washing machine or what you see in your bathrooms after bath. It is just a soap or detergent froth. But what has happened is, since a lot of sewage water is coming there, it is getting mixed with garage and road and all that oily material that flows.
Any time frame that you can give?
I told him that the frame that they had given was 2014.
Which is not
but so far it has not happened. The constructions are still on. Another 14, probably 13, 14 treatment plants they are building. Lot of efforts are on, but I am sure it takes time.
Now the Pollution Control Board chairman told us it was a problem of the BWSSB. The BWSSB says that the BDA is in charge of the lake. Nobody's baby, everybody's problem. We are very happy to have with us the Upalokayukta of Karnataka, Justice Santosh Ardi. Now, sir, it's always somebody else's problem, somebody else's fault. Who has the responsibility of this?
There are three authorities. First is the revenue authority, who have to determine the exact area of this lake. Now this is 448 acres of land, but a lot of area is encroached. Last time when I visited, I directed the revenue authorities to survey it first, identify the encroachment area and fence it.
Okay.
Now the revenue authority takes its own time to do it. I have asked them expedite it. In fact, they require a lot of manpower, and there is a shortage of manpower according to them. And unless you fence it, it will not be protected.
The encroachments will actually add to the pollution because people.
Yes. And then there is a pollution board here.
Yes.
There are many. Even the High Court has wrapped it many times, and they are not acting. They never collected this sewage traced water.
Okay.
It is only the Ramchandra might have collected and tested it. Sewage, the Pollution Control Board is not acting. BWSSB is not acting. They know this problem. This problem is there for last 9 years, and nobody is bothered about it. Only the residents now, they have become aware. They are alert and they are hesitating this problem. Because of their pressure I came, and today also because of their pressure I came here. And this is not the only scene. Sometimes it flows at least above the bridge. It goes up to the bus height. I met school children who studied on this. They have tested the contaminated water. The borewells around 0.5 kilometer. All the water, groundwater is polluted, and they have visited the hospital. It is their report I have studied. The children who studied.
The children taking care of this. Yes.
They came here, they studied the water contamination, they studied the borewell water test, and borewell water being contaminated, people are drinking it. And they have visited the hospital surrounding area. You can see that this is the hospital, this is a big mall coming opposite to this area.
This Whitefield area is full of IT companies.
A lot of IT companies and very prime locality. People are interested in encroaching because to make illegal money out of this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now,
And
just before we go on, we'll just take another look again at that foam. See how high it is. It's kind of crossed the embankment. Is above that level. It could fly onto the road any moment. Now, yesterday while we were here, we saw the BWSSB, the sewerage board, coming with a tanker of water. What they just did was they poured plain water on the foam to bring the foam level down. Clearly a very short-term solution, not a solution at all. In fact, they poured water on it so that the level came down. Right now, the level is rising again. Now, Justice, you are the Upalokayukta. You do have powers.
Yes.
What can you do? What are you doing?
I'm asking the BWSSB and the Pollution Control Board as well as Revenue Authority. First priority, I'm seeing that this land is protected first. Lake is protected. 448 acres is the most valuable.
Yes.
Secondly, immediate solution is they have to establish a STP plant. But the scientists said STP plant with wetland, which will be a solution, and they will get a potable water. Potable water which will be available in plenty.
You think this water could eventually become
it will be
potable? It can be potable.
Yes,
okay.
It will be potable. And that they can make use it, and the other part, phosphorus, phosphate and other things, that is also valuable. If these people must come forward, these authorities, they are deaf and dumb. They don't act at all. They only listen to us, but acting it. I will tell you, this is only promising authority, not performing authority. That is the whole problem. But I will see to that at least now onwards, they will start working on this lake. There are plenty of lakes in Bangalore. They are all interconnected with the stormwater drain.
Yes.
But the budget allocation made by the government is very meager.
How much is it? I mean, is it not enough to cover?
No. They require at least more than 4,000 crores. But they have to decide one time. Unless they do it, that is no, they cannot protect the lakes, they cannot protect the stormwater drain. This is only promise every year they will make it, and that remains in paper only.
So clearly a lot of encouragement. I think the residents very encouraged to hear these strong directions from the Upalokayukta that you will follow this up.
I am trying my best to do within my limits. Even I have gone beyond the limit to tell them. And they come, they talk, but performance-wise, one of the authority told, you must talk to the government to get the budget allocated. But
it's always somebody else's responsibility.
Yes. And over and above, what is important, even if we develop, the BD had developed 13 lakes, but none of them are maintained. Except those lakes which are maintained is only by the residents. Residents must come forward to protect them.
Absolutely.
Even if they develop it, also there will be an encroachment.
Now, he spoke about potable water. How do we get this water into a condition where we can drink it?
Well, we have already a model in Jakkur.
Yes.
If you look at
Jakkur being one of the lakes,
yes,
in Bengaluru.
lake where the water has reached the potable standard.
Okay.
See, we have the treatment plant. Following that, we have the wetland, and then the algae pond. By the time when it passes through the algae pond, it removes all the nutrient. See, conventional treatment plant will not remove the nutrient.
Okay.
If you have to remove the nutrient, you need a tertiary treatment, which is very expensive.
Yes.
So, integrating this constructed wetland, we can get the water which is potable.
With algae, using algae, all natural methods. Really.
Natural, this one. You are just mimicking the ecosystem.
Wow.
And taking advantage of how the ecosystem functions.
Okay.
You are just putting it in place here and taking advantage. Here, people also get a value-added product. They can also generate biofuel.
Yes.
You know, the water is a scarce commodity in Bangalore. Now, if you do the desiltation of this lake, you can store a large quantity of rainwater. And you can address the water problem of the city, and also the contamination. If we remove, our children will not face the crisis of health. So you don't need many hospitals.
So no need for, they talk about very fancy sewage treatment plants that it'll take time to set up. That's what the authorities are saying, but you can actually do it with algae as well.
Also mentioned that the study made by the children from various hospitals the surrounding, those diseases are only due to the contaminated water from the borewell.
Oh dear,
And not
it's proof. What solutions would you like to see? Now, you have been working actively on the lake. There are many lakes in Bengaluru, a city which was once so proud of its lake heritage. Many are affected. Is there some way you can all work together?
Yes, we already are working together. We have this lake team as part of Whitefield Rising, which is actively involved in trying our very, very best to bring attention to the lake and to rejuvenate it.
What are the measures that you feel could actually...
Meha can tell you something more about
What can be done? What have you studied this? I mean, obviously you live right here. What can be done?
So the first thing that needs to be done is that every single government official who is involved with lakes or water in Bangalore needs to be as passionate about this as you just heard Justice Adi. That's the first thing. After that, we have two very immediate asks. The first immediate ask, tomorrow, wake up and fence the lake.
Okay.
Fencing the lake will stop further encroachment, and it will stop people from just throwing trash into the lake.
Okay.
The second...
Is it not fenced at all? I can see some fencing there.
Some parts of it are fenced and some parts of it are not fenced. And wherever it's not fenced, yesterday I saw somebody throw a window into the lake.
So at least fencing would stop some dumping at least.
Yes, absolutely. The second ask that we have is that sewage water needs to stop entering the lake and it needs to be treated. The lake water and the water entering the lake needs to be treated before it comes in. This is not a simple task. It is a daunting task. And we need somebody in the government, we need somebody of an IAS officer's caliber, somebody like Darpan Jain who's doing this for solid waste management for the city, to get involved and do this for the lakes of the city. For the Koramangala, Chalargata Valley lakes, there needs to be somebody leading the effort, combining all the government voices, combining all the technical experts like what Professor just told us, and finding a solution which gets implemented.
I mean, it doesn't seem like rocket science, fencing off the lake so that there's no dumping, no encroachment, and making sure that raw sewage, 500 million litres of raw sewage, does not go there. Now, you have spoken to authorities. You've not just been sitting here saying, wringing your hands and thinking, oh God, something must happen.
No, we went to everybody, right? We went to the Tahsildar, we went to the BDA Commissioner, we went to the BBMP Commissioner, we went to Lake Development Authority, we went to Mr. Ramalinga Reddy, who's the Minister in charge of Bangalore, right? When we found that nothing is happening, then we just went to Mr. Radhi, our Polokaikta, right? And he's been the only one who has been really pushing for, making sure that some action happens. So right now they need surveyors, right? They need surveyors, just get some surveys. What does it take to get some surveys to protect a lake which is 448 acres, like he's saying? See, this is prime property, right?
Absolutely. Whitefield is such a huge thing. Yes, absolutely. Now, we'll just go for a short break now, but we'll come back with some more solutions, some more suggestions, because as you know, the residents here are not just complaining about what's going on. They have very clear ideas of their own as what can be done to make that snowfall go away.